Welcome to the Show Day podcast. Today is July 25th, 2019. Last night was a thrilling night across all of drum corps. We saw incredible scoring battles. We saw corps debuting their new endings. We saw some open class corps finishing up very successful seasons. So just a whole lot of stuff happened last night, and 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks right now, the chorus will be filing into Lucas Oil, and prelims will be underway, and the season will be wrapping up. So 2 weeks left. You got to make your changes now or in the coming days, and really just the next week, because after that, really, you have no time to really debut stuff. So by Allentown next weekend, everything will be on the field, most likely, and we should probably know where the corps stand. So thrilling night. I'll dive into that, plus take a look. We have one show tonight, not a very heavy hitter, but definitely some stuff we can look at, look for in the recaps tonight. So first up, last night we had DCI Arkansas in Little Rock, Arkansas at War Memorial Stadium. The Bluecoats had this stadium a little bit last week, a little bit this week to rehearse in prior to this show. So taking a look at general effect first, I have just these top four here, and then the next couple I'll talk about a little later. So these top four, general effect, Bluecoats a 36.9, a very large margin over Santa Clara Vanguard at 36.2, 7/10 there. Boston Crusaders in third at 36.15, just half of a tenth of a point behind Santa Clara Vanguard in general effect. And the Cavaliers in fourth at the 35.5. Looking at the visual caption, I want to specifically look at color guard and the overall visual totals. Color guard, you've got Boston 18.6. Their color guard, of course, is amazing. Last year, this year, and I'm sure they will be in the future as well. 18.6, you round that up to a 19. That's just a point off of a perfect score. So with 2 weeks left in the season, sure looks like they can gain some more and definitely come away from championships with winning best color guard, if nothing else. Bluecoats second in color guard in 18.2. Vanguard finishes third in 18 even, and fourth a 17.2. Definitely kind of a mile away from these scores is the Cavaliers at as I said, a 17.2. And then looking at the overall visual scores, what does that all mean for the overall scores? You've got Bluecoats at 27.6 coming out on top. Boston in second at 27.35. Vanguard a 27.325. So that's like a half of a tenth of a point. Extremely close is the point I'm trying to get across. And then the Cavaliers in fourth in visual at 26.4. When we look at the music caption for these four corps, looking first at brass, you have Bluecoats in first in 18.6, Vanguard second in 18.45, Boston finishing third, and the Cavaliers fourth, but very close, half of a tenth of a point there. Music analysis, you've got Vanguard on top of the Bluecoats, and then third to the Cavaliers, fourth to the Boston Crusaders. And in percussion, you have Santa Clara Vanguard in first, of course, Bluecoats in second, 3/10 back, third place to the Cavaliers. Blue Knights get in there at fourth, and the Boston Crusaders are fifth. Overall music scores, Vanguard first, Bluecoats second, Cavaliers third, Boston Crusaders in fourth. Overall scores of the show, Bluecoats a 92.05, breaking 92 last night. Blue Devils did that as well. I'll get to them in the Hattiesburg show recap. Santa Clara Vanguard still hanging within a point. They're 8/10 back of the Bluecoats after last night, a 91.25. Boston Crusaders finished third at an 89.85, and the Cavaliers in fourth at an 88.575. So then looking at this next group, you've got 5 through 10, looking at general effect first. You've got the Blue Knights in fifth, Crossman and Phantom then following 6th and 7th. I want to highlight that battle as we go through here. 33-1 for the Crossman, 32-8 for Phantom Regiment. They come very close to each other last night, at least compared to how they have been so far this season. Colts in 8th, Music City 9th, Jersey Surf 10th. Looking at visual proficiency, just looking at the Crossman and Phantom, you've got Crossman 16-7, Phantom 16-4. Visual analysis, Crossman jumping the Blue Knights there. Crossman is 17 even, Blue Knights is 16.7, and Phantom down in 7th at a 16.3. You also see a little farther down, Jersey Surf. They top Music City in the visual analysis subcaption of 14-6 to a 14-4. Color guard then. Blue Knights 5th, Crossman 6th by a 10th over Phantom, Colton 8th, Music City 9th, Jersey Surf 10th. Overall visual performance last night, Blue Knights come in 5th at 25.5, Crossman in 6th, a 24.85 to Phantom's 24.3. Definitely Crossman are better in visual than Phantom is, and that's really where most of their gap over Phantom's coming from. You see 3/10 in general effect, 5.5 in visual. Colts in 8th, Music City 9th, Jersey Surf 10th in the visual performance caption. Looking at music then, once again, Phantom and the Crossman. Looking at brass first, Crossman is 16.7, Phantom a 16.5. When you look at music analysis, you have Phantom ahead of the Crossman by 3/10 there, a 16.6 to a 16.3. Percussion, Blue Knights, as I said, they jumped up into the top 4 there, knocking Boston down to 5th. In 6th was Phantom Regiment in percussion, a 16.8 to the Crossman 16.5. Colts in 8th, Music City 9th, and Jersey Surf in 10th. Overall music scores, you have the Blue Knights in 5th at 25.65, the Crossman in 7th at 24.75. That's 2/10 though below where Phantom Regiment scores at a 24.95. Colts in 8th at a 24 even. They definitely are strong in percussion and have showed that. They have showed that they are a finalist quality percussion ensemble, so we'll have to see if that continues into the coming weeks. 9th in music to Music City and 10th to Jersey Surf. Overall totals for this one, Blue Knights at an 85.55, the Crossman in 6th and 82.7, Phantom Regiment in 7th and 82.05. They do pull closer though to the Crossman, just 6.5 there. Colts in 8th is 78.65, Music City in 9th is 72.75, and Jersey Surf finishes 10th at a 69.9. Second event last night was DCI Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. A few storylines, and it all has to do with the top 4 here. First, the Blue Devils, a 36.8 in the general effect caption, obviously is a wide margin ahead of any of their competition. Nobody really pulling close to them, and really, as you'll see as we go across the whole recap here, you see the Blue Devils a mile ahead of everybody else. Not a surprise there, and them actually putting up a higher score than the Bluecoats did last night. Of course, 2 different competitions. It's a very small margin, but still something to take into consideration. The second storyline, another thing I'll follow across the recap here, is the Blue Stars. Their scores were not, I'm not going to say very high. I'm going to say that they were definitely ahead of where they were last season. They're putting up numbers that we did not see from them until very late in the season last year. And they're one to watch, especially against the Cavaliers. Could they get up into that very elite top 6? Then this next battle here is the Mandarins and the Cadets. First, looking in general effect with them, really, those 4 are the only ones I'm going to focus on across this whole thing. The next 4, really nothing at stake with those scores at this event competitively. So, general effect, Blue Devils 36.8, Blue Stars 35.2, Mandarins 1.1 above where the Cadets stand, a 34.1 to a 33 even. Going over to the visual caption, just looking at the Mandarins and the Cadets in the specific subcaptions, Mandarins is 17.1 in visual proficiency, the Cadets at a 16.5. Visual analysis, Mandarins is 17.2. Academy actually topped the cadets here, 16.7 to the cadets 16.5. Color guard, you've got the Mandarins in third at 16.9, cadets in fourth at a 16.5. Overall visual scores, you have the Blue Devils in first at a 27.7, second Blue Stars rather, at 26.25. Mandarins finished third in overall visual at 25.6. Cadets almost a point back here at 24.75. Academy in fifth at 24.15, Troopers a 22.75, Madison a 22.15, and the Seattle Cascades in eighth a 20.25. Looking at music then, kind of just keeping with those, that battle I was talking about with the Mandarins and Cadets, but also expanding that into the Blue Stars here because the Cadets are so strong in some of these music areas. The Cadets brass really is just not lining up from event to event. We saw them finish 13th in brass in San Antonio on Saturday. Now at this event, we have them ahead of the Blue Stars. So really, where do they stand in that specific subcaption really is a mystery right now, and we'll definitely have to see how they fit in come this Saturday in Atlanta, following Saturday in Allentown, and obviously finally in championship. So brass, as I said, Cadets second at 17.3, Blue Stars third 17.1, Mandarins in fourth at 16.9. Music analysis. Blue Stars top those three at a 17.7, a big drop off to the Cadets, half a point, 17.2, and the Mandarins at a 17 even. Looking at percussion then, obviously Cadets have been so strong there, finishing just 0.3 behind the Blue Devils in the percussion caption at an 18.1. Blue Stars in third at a 17 even, and the Mandarins in fourth at 16 even. Overall music then, Cadets come out on top of those three at 26.3 to the Blue Stars 25.9, and then fourth, Mandarins at 24.95. Overall scores, you've got the Blue Devils at 92.15, Blue Stars at 87.35. That's the closest those two cores have been in at least 30 years. So good things happening for the Blue Stars, and obviously good things happening for the Blue Devils. Mandarins at an 84.65 in third, Cadets in fourth at an 84.05. The Mandarins defeat the Cadets for the first time in the history of DCI. Academy in fifth at 79.4. Troopers in sixth, a 76.1. Madison Scouts finished seventh, a 74.6. And the Seattle Cascades in eighth at a 67.8 final score on the night in Hattiesburg. The final show last night was the Mile High Showcase in the Denver, Colorado area. We had 5 open class cores here, 4 of which were wrapping up their 2019 seasons last night. Those were the Battalion, Vessel, Watchman, and Impulse Gold. They will continue on tour, touring the country, and then, of course, coming to World Championships in actually just about a week and a half now. So, General Effect, Gold, a 31.1, the Battalion at a 28.8, third Vessel at 27.8, Watchman in fourth at a 25.3, and Impulse in fifth at a 24 even. The scores these cores have put up are some of the highest, if not the highest, that they have ever put up. So I'm just going to highlight the overall captions since their seasons are now finished, but definitely good seasons to all. So over in visual, Gold at 22.45, the Battalion at 21.15, Vessel in third at 20.45, Watchman in fourth at 19.15, and Impulse in fifth at 17.95. Then looking in music, you have Gold at a 21.8, Battalion at 20.3, Vessel at 20.25, Watchman in fourth a 18.4, and Impulse in fifth and 18.2 final music total there. Gold, they'll, as I said, keep going on. They have a show in Cape Girardeau, Missouri tomorrow night where they'll join in with some cores from the Midwest, Guardians, Louisiana Stars, some others. So 75.35, definitely a good score to be taking into the open class tour. Gold's going to put up their highest score in court history this year. It's just a matter of when they do it, and I think that they are setting themselves up to be the Open Class champions this year. I think it's definitely going to come down to them and the Spartans, but right now I see Gold as kind of a clear runaway favorite there. Spartans and Legends, though, could definitely get in there and mix it up. Battalion, they finished second at a 70.25, highest score in court history. Their whole thing this season was like to strive for that 70-point mark, and they did that last night, so definitely a job well done to the Battalion and their 2019 campaign. Looking very forward to see if they make an announcement in the coming weeks and months as to if they are deciding to go to World Championships next season. Vessel, they finished third at a 68.5, Watchman 62.85, Impulse in fifth at 60.15. Definitely all three of those scores. Job well done to them as well. Good seasons behind them, and obviously now they will look to the future and to build upon the success they've built for themselves this season. Tonight, just one show on the schedule is DCI Southern Alabama and Dothan, Alabama. We have 5 world-class scores here. We have the Seattle Cascades, Genesis, Pacific Crest, Spirit of Atlanta, and the Mandarins in attendance. Mandarins will come out on this one on top. Where can they hit point-wise? Can they hit 85 or 86 tonight? And with 2 weeks left in the season, actually, I keep saying 2 weeks. It's actually more than 2 weeks for these finalists and semifinalists because you think Friday, Saturday. So with 2 weeks, 2 days left in the season, pretty much, for the Mandarins, where can they keep going? At 85, 86, 87, definitely is in the realm of possibility for the next few shows for them. Spirit of Atlanta, they'll finish second. They got to keep getting those scores higher. You got to get up to 81, 82, 83 maybe tonight, and I'm not sure if they can do it. They caught Phantom the other night. They got to keep going though, because what they've done is they've caught Phantom, but Phantom's caught the Crossman. So Spirit's got to kind of stay with where Phantom is, and maybe even where the Crossmen are right now. So just something to watch and see if Spirit can hang in that finalist contention. Pacific Crest, they'll finish third. Really not a whole lot of competitive storylines to come out of this show, but still, Pacific Crest, a great show this season. Can they get 77, 78 tonight? If they could break 80 like by this Saturday, that would be huge for them. Genesis, they are they'll be a fourth at this one. Keep building upon that success, maybe pass Pacific Crest in some of these areas that they are very strong in. And then the Seattle Cascades as well. They had a big point leap the other night from a 64 to a 67, kind of stayed in that 67 range last night. Can they continue to keep scoring higher and higher and make sure they keep themselves in that DCI semifinalist contention? They'll need to do that. That's kind of, I think, their main goal for the rest of the season. So thank you for watching the podcast. Just a few things. Make sure to visit my website, drumcorpscentral.weebly.com, for all the latest updates from the DCI and DCA summer tours, scores, schedules, leaderboards, and more can all be found on my own personal website about all things drum corps. Make sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Drum Corps Geek, and subscribe to the Show Day podcast on YouTube. Finally, leave your thoughts in the comment sections, questions and comments, etc. would all be greatly appreciated. Just 2 more things before I end here, and I mentioned at the beginning of the show how we saw new endings last night. Yes, we did. I've seen videos of the Bluecoats and the Boston Crusaders new endings, and Boston, they do the whole conquest thing. I'm sorry to spoil it for anyone that was hoping to not see it until Saturday, but I'm sure that's not very many people. So anyway, Boston's new ending is conquest, the whole that whole thing, and then the Bluecoats' new ending is really just amazing. They come down from the ramps and from playing Come Together, they come down there, there's a pitch bend, and then they play Hey Jude, and it really is one of the best moments I've ever seen in a drum corps show. So we'll definitely have to see how this season winds up, but right now it is as thrilling as we thought it would be. So Thank you for watching the Show Day podcast. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Have a great rest of your Thursday.